Hi, welcome back to GlintPM channel. In this tutorial, we'll continue with the Microsoft Project Schedule series, and where we stopped was resource loading and assignment. In this session, I want to show you how to do resource leveling. Most time, resources uh, are limited, so we don't have unlimited resources in projects and in business generally. So therefore, you have to be able to make good use of the resource that is available to you. But how do you now level resource? So we're going to see it one by one. But first, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share your comment, encourage us to do more video for you by interacting and engaging with the content. Um, okay, so how do you know that you have resource over allocation? So, and what does that even mean? First, this is how you know. You can see this icon that look like person and it's red. So it's showing you that here you have, and if you put your cursor on it, you can see it said this tag has over allocated resources. Okay, so all tasks that have this red icon, this is how you know your over allocated resources in MS Project. So by now, for those who are using PCs already, you can see the difference between PCs and Microsoft Project, right? So in this session, I don't really need this resource column again here, so I'm going to hide it. So let's still leave the slack. Already you can see I've highlighted in the previous video I showed you that how I highlighted the critical activities, and you can see those are the one in yellow. So if you want to modify how it's highlighted, that one is uh, a different task which you can also explore. If you want me to do that, let me know. So if you want to clear the highlights, you can just clear the highlights, it disappear. But I still want to show you because I still want to use it to explain some concepts in this resource leveling. So also take note of the total float, which is called total slack here. So you can see all the activity, all the task. Because MSP we use task. All the tasks with 0 days, they are critical. Okay, so take note of that. Now we're going to look at how to do the leveling. So another way for you to know is to go to your resource sheet and you can see all the resources that are over allocated on your resource sheet. They are all in red. So you can see them. Why in your GAN chart view, you can see the activities that has over allocated resources. So this is a simple way of doing this task. Okay. Also, if you go to the task usage view, you can also see those activities, task usage view, and the resources at the same time that have the over allocation, right? So under the task usage view is where you have the estimated man hours for each of the resources you are using in the project. You can see task usage view, and if you want to edit or adjust them, you can also edit all these hours here. So, but based on the duration and the calendar we're using, so these hours have been calculated for us. For now, I don't want to do it too much on this. I just want to show you how it is done. So you can see the activities and the resources that have the over allocation. Here is project control, and here is project control. Okay, so here we can't really tell which of the resources is over allocated, right? But we know that these activities has over allocation. And if you come to the resource sheet, you can see so we know these two, they are over allocated. So we'll talk more about this later. So but what I want to show you first is let's go to back to the Gantt chart view. So this is the Gantt chart view. So take note of the start date, which is 9 September 9/15 and August 17, 2027. So this is 2025 start date. This is August 17, 2027 finish date. But by the time you, so just like in PC, there are two way you can do automatic leveling and you can do manual leveling. And manual leveling is called smoothing. Take note. So the major difference is that automatic, the software is going to assume that you have unlimited resources and is going to, you know, use the algorithm to adjust the resources based on the loading you have done. So and distribute it for all the activities and the hours. So you can see most time using that method you're going to change your critical path, you're going to affect your critical path. But smoothing, which we are going to see subsequently, is going to you're going to do it manually most of the time. You're going to be the one adjusting this thing manually in order to save your or preserve your critical path because you don't want anything to change. So the implication of your critical path changing is that the activities is going to be delayed or the project completion is going to be delayed because usually when the software adjusts all the resources for you, you're going to increase maybe the hours available for the resources to be available to work. So that is simply what it means. So over allocation is simply let's say for these activities, you can see that these activities they are all running concurrently. So you can see this is good example of over allocation, and that's why you have over allocation because you have same resources allocated to these activities, and what that means is that these resources will be working at the same time on three different activities, which is practically impossible. So in that case, you need to redistribute the hours for them to work in order for you to achieve these three activities at the same time. So that is what the software is going to look at. Okay, no, this is not possible. So let me adjust this for you. So if you want to level, you go to resource tab. Okay, so this is the leveling session. You can just make selection like I select this one and click level. So let's see. If I click level selection, what will happen? You can see it has level it for me. But what is the implication here? What is the implication? Let's look at the our finish date. So our finish date is what? Is still preserved. So our finish date is preserved because what I did was just to what? Choose a particular section of the activities and just level it. So you just clean it up. Okay, okay. So that is a good way. Another beautiful view for us to see how this thing is changing is to go to this leveling chart, Gantt. This is Gantt chart, this is leveling Gantt. So here you can see as those things are changing. This is the one that I changed just now. These are the activities that has over allocation that I changed just now, right? Because they are starting at the same time. Look at it. There are three activities here. So I just leveled just now. So this view, you can see this column, leveling delay, right? So before now, there is no, here is supposed to be 0. I'm supposed to show you before I change. Here is supposed to be 0, right? Okay, so let me change it practically. You see, if this is the 0, you can see it has gone back to what? Over allocation. So it has gone back to what? Over allocation. So just by, because, but if we tell the software to level for us, right? So we can, okay, here I am. So now if I select the three activities again, and I choose what? Level selection, you can see it's gone now. So this has been added to, delay has been added to me. It means these resources will be going to be delayed. This particular activity is going to be delayed. So yes, already we have 45 days, but it means for us to achieve it, when these resources that is causing this, and okay, so and what are the resources here? that is causing this. If you look, before now we have laborer and iron worker. These two, they are over allocated before now. But the moment we level it, the over allocation disappears. So those are the two activities that are over allocated here. Okay, so it's showing me the other chart again. So I'll need to go to the view again. There's another chart. So those are the two activities that are over allocated before now, which I have just corrected here. That is iron and I remove. So let's look at these two. What are the activities here that are over allocated? Let's use this. I think this will also give us so also the hours is going to increase. So let's look at these two. So these two is the task review give us a better explanation. So task review working is what over allocated, and if you check the resource sheet, working is also what over allocated. Okay. So if I also select here and I choose level um, selection, let's see level selection. Okay, I think it's not going to work under the task usage. So let's do it under the. So this is the same activities here. These two activities. This first is over allocated and the resources were working. You can see. So let's run it. Okay, so it means it's not every uh, activity is selected that you can adjust this way from this selection. So in that case, what you need to do is to use this level resource. So, but before you use level resource, let's look at the uh, level option. So level option is where you set the setting for resource leveling. If you put it automatic, by the time you put it automatic, just like you put your schedule in automatic, when I show you in the beginning of this tutorial, okay, so automatically it's going to be leveling the resources as you are assigning it to the activities. So that's what it means. You don't want to turn this on because, yes, like we said, everything is not perfect in the real world. So what that means is that you cannot always have the resources to execute the job as you want. So you need to work with the limit of the resources that are available, either equipment or personnel. So in that case, manual, just leave this manual setting. So I think every other thing is good, every other default is good. Uh, level can create split in many work, okay. Level manual schedule task, okay. Level you can adjust revision assignment task good. Within available slack. So if I choose this, I think this is also have this because it's float. So if I choose this, it's going to is if I put this one check on, it will level. So I'll show you what this means maybe later. But this setup is just okay. So click OK. And now we can now come to level resource. So I just want to level resource here. So and that resource is what Pokim. So Pokim is selected. Choose level now. So you can see Pokim has what um, the the and was okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you before was if it's a critical activity that Pokim is affecting. So let's see. From here we can see it's not critical because our critical part is still preserved. So another thing we can check is the impact of the leveling on the schedule. So let's see. I think these are two activities here. Okay, so level delay. There is no level delay. There's no level delay, so it's good. Okay, oh, there's level delay here because Pokim is also here. So it's not just that two activities. So Pokim is also here. So I think why it doesn't work that other time was that I didn't look at all the places where you have the resources. So in that case, the best thing to use is just to just use your level resource so that you can be able to monitor the other. But right now, do we still have our date preserved? Yes, I think yes, our date is still preserved. So that is August 17, 2027. So let's now look at the next um, activities there. The next over location. Or from here, you can just click next over allocation. So the next over allocation is here. But from here, you can see all these activities that were critical. So it means if we level these activities, it's going to impact um, the delivery, the critical part. So let's see. And the resources here is what? Project control. So take note, you can see the resources that is over allocated in project control, right? And let's check the so just remaining two resources that is over allocated like project control and finished carpenter. Okay, so let's do it. Um yes, project control and finished carpenter. Do project control. So let's go to what? Level resource. The same time let's just do level resource. Well, because for selection you have to look for all the activities where the resources is affected. So because I've selected activity relay, so you already know the project control, you just pick it up from. If not, I can scroll and look for that resource and level it. Okay, perfect. So it has what? Level it. So remove, you can see no more right. Just remaining these few activities. And these few activities remaining is finished carpenter. But right now, what do we have? Our face date has changed. That is because this activity is critical, right? So this is what I want to show you guys. This activity is critical and is going to impact the critical part. So for that, you need to do it manually. That is, you need to do smoothly. So that's just what I want to show you guys. So the remaining activities here is this and this. This is also critical. So since this is critical, it's still going to affect this date. So this is not the final date here. This is 27th of April 2028. Whereas before, we are supposed to have what? August 17, 2027. So almost 1 year has been delayed for us just because we do not have enough resources that we are going to use to do about three activities at the same time. So in that case, let's look at the last part. Let's just do it before I'm not sure the smoothing. Um, so the smoothing, I think I'm going to show you the next video. If you have any question about this particular uh, task, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll respond. I'll show you the smoothing in the next video as much as I have the time to make the video. And if you have any question, share like I said. So for the last part, we're going to also level it. So here we have um, so we have yes three activities that are what that are allocated to these um, resources. But out of those activities, it is only finished carpenter that is over allocated, right? So the rest are good. So it doesn't matter whether you just select finished carpenter or you select all of them. But for these activities, how many resources are there? There are still three resources. So you can just level it. It will not impact all those other ones. It will only impact the over allocation. Okay. So the over allocated now is appeared to, but after that, our schedule will now finish when 20, April 27, 2028. So the oh, and even after we finish that one, I think it's because I so it has indirectly impacted another activity, which is iron work. So this time around, I will just I will just adjust only the iron worker. So now I'm going to level again. but I'm not going to select all, just select iron worker. Okay, so we can see that it's becoming but what about the finish date? Finish date is still the same. So but our over allocation is becoming more uh, complex. Okay, it's becoming more complex. So laborer is now the one that is over allocated. Laborer and finished carpenter is now over allocated. So let's go back to this. Let's try to use this level so that we see how it works. So this level now, before I was leveling the resources one after the other. But now, what I just did was just to click this one. So you get to level everything without you even understanding which of the resources are allocated and everything. Our date is still 27th of April 2028. So in this tutorial, successfully I'll be able to demonstrate how to use the level selection, level resource, and level option in Microsoft Project. And the key thing you need to know is that if you use this method, if the activities that is overallocated is on critical path, it's going to change the completion date of the project. Okay, so that is one thing for you to take note. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is under this same resource leveling before I do the manual. So I'm going to close this. I don't want to save it yet. So, so perfect. So this is all the over allocation that's still here before. I can see the finish date before now is 2027, 17th of August. So we're going to go to resource leveling again. So we're going to choose the level option. So here I want to show within available slack. So within available slack, I mean within total float. So it means you don't want it to go beyond anything. So from here you can just choose level up. You choose level up, it's going to level everything. Okay, manually. So okay, yes. So perfect. That's level the one that it can up to this stage, but there's still over allocation. So and this option is still checked. Take note. So I'll just okay. Now I'm going to level all again. So you say project cannot resolve the over allocation project control, blah blah blah. To continue leveling other over allocation resources, click skip. So this is what I mentioned to you guys. I just wanted to demonstrate it because project control here is critical. It's critical. It's on the critical part, and you can see the duration is very large. So because of these particular activities and the nature of the activities, okay, so the software cannot resolve it automatically. So it means for you to achieve this date is practically impossible. For you to level the resources and still achieve your finish date practically impossible. That is what it literally means. So in that case, for you to achieve it, you need to allow the software to do its own job, like be free. And that will mean that your project is going to be delayed because it's going to extend the completion date. So let's level all again. So you can see this is what I'm talking about. April 2028. And this is the same result we got the last time. So this is a faster way of doing it. And yes, you can also set a constraint if it's possible. But like I said, um, in reality, smoothing is what you're going to do. It's what is the best option for you. Um, we're going to see how to do that in the next video. If you benefit from the tutorial, you find it valuable, you subscribe, like, share, and if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Um, Thank you for watching up to this point. and I will see you in the next tutorial.